My sister claimed she raised me, then demanded half of my inheritance. At the lawyer's office, she scoffed. Mom and Dad would have wanted this. The lawyer adjusted his glasses and replied, "Actually, they had something else in mind." Her face turned pale as the papers were read. "I don't know what gave us away. Maybe I was careless. Maybe I left my phone unlocked one too many times. Maybe my mother, Eleanor, got a little too comfortable making pointed remarks when she thought Serena wasn't listening. Or maybe my wife just had a gut feeling that something wasn't right. Because last night, Serena found out about the meetings. And everything went to HLL. I was in the kitchen, rinsing dishes after dinner, when I heard the front door bang open. Heavy, fast footsteps followed, the kind that told me right away something was very wrong. Before I could turn around, Serena stormed in, gripping a thick black binder in her hands like it was burning her. Her face was pale. Not just angry pale. Shock pale. She didn't throw the binder at me, but she might as well have. She slapped it down on the counter so hard I actually flinched. I didn't need to read the cover to know exactly what it was. The Serena situation. My heart stopped. "What the FCK is this, Owen?" Serena's voice was sharp, almost unsteady. She wasn't yelling, not yet, but I could hear the rage sitting just beneath the surface, waiting to explode. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. My throat was suddenly dry. She took a slow breath, then flipped open the binder with a trembling hand. Examples of Serena's manipulative behavior? Her voice rose. Instances of gaslighting? Signs of emotional withholding? "Are you effing kidding me?" I swallowed hard. "Serena," her hand shot up. "No, no, you don't get to explain this away." She turned the binder toward me, stabbing a finger at the first page. "This is insane. This is a effing case file on me, Owen. Like I'm some kind of criminal." My stomach twisted itself into knots. "I can explain." "Explain?" She let out a bitter laugh, shaking her head. "You've been having meetings about me, Owen." "Meetings?" A voice from behind her made my blood run cold. "It's time you knew the truth." My mother. I hadn't even noticed her walk in. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed, face unreadable. She wasn't surprised Serena had found out. If anything, she looked resigned. Serena's entire body tensed. "The truth." She turned, blinking at Eleanor like she wasn't sure if she had heard correctly. "The truth? You're actually justifying this." Eleanor let out a slow sigh. "Serena, please, let's all calm down, don't." Serena's voice was shaking now, but it wasn't from fear. It was something else. Betrayal. Hurt. Fury. "I knew you never liked me, Eleanor. But this? This is next-level psychotic." Eleanor's lips pressed into a thin line. "We were only trying to protect Owen." Serena let out a choked laugh. From me. I finally found my voice. "Serena, please, just listen for a second." She turned on me so fast I nearly took a step back. "Listen." Her hands curled into fists. "To what exactly?" "How you and your mommy and your entire family have been sitting around every week dissecting everything I do like I'm some goddamn science experiment." She flipped another page. "Serena didn't wear the bracelet Delia gave her for Christmas. Possible sign of distancing?" "Are you effing kidding me?" My sister, Delia, who had been standing behind my mother, scoffed. It was rude. Serena's eyes snapped to her. "Oh, FCK off, Delia. You gave it to me in rose gold." "I told you a million times I don't wear rose gold." "That's not the point," Delia shot back, crossing her arms. "The point is, you don't even try to be a part of this family." Serena let out a sharp breath, looking at me with wide, desperate eyes. "Is that what you think?" I froze. The moment stretched. Too long. And then I saw it. I felt it. Something shifted in her expression, something raw and painful, and my chest tightened. "You do, don't you?" she whispered. "Serena." Her breath hitched, and she stepped back. "Oh my God." I reached for her. "Please, just don't." She jerked away like I'd burned her. My mother exhaled loudly. "Serena, let's be reasonable." "Reasonable?" Serena turned on her so fast it startled even Eleanor. "You spied on me. You tracked my behavior like I was some F-king experiment. And you think I'm the one who's unreasonable?" Eleanor didn't even blink. "You changed him. That was it." That was the moment I knew there was no coming back from this. Serena's face crumpled. I felt the air shift, like all the love and trust and everything we had built together had just snapped in half. And then, she grabbed the binder, turned, and walked out the door. I stood there, frozen, as the sound of her car starting filled the silence. And then, she was gone. The silence that followed was suffocating. My hands were shaking. My chest felt like someone had just caved it in with a sledgehammer. And then, my mother spoke. "Maybe it's for the best." Something in me snapped. I turned to her so fast her expression actually faltered. "For the best." My voice was hoarse. "Are you effing serious?" Eleanor straightened her shoulders. "Owen, you know we only." "No." I cut her off, my voice sharp, shaking. "No, I don't want to hear it." Delia scoffed. "Oh, come on." "Shut up, Delia." Her mouth clamped shut, and for the first time in my life, I saw them. Not as my loving family, not as people who had my best interests at heart, but as poison. And I had swallowed every drop. I took a slow breath. I need you all to leave. Eleanor's face hardened. Owen, now. She studied me for a long moment. Then, with a quiet sigh, she turned and walked out, Delia trailing behind her. Tobias, who had been silent this whole time, gave me a long look. Then, without a word, he followed. And then, I was alone. Alone with the weight of everything I had done. Alone with the silence Serena had left behind. And alone with the terrible, gut-wrenching realization that I might have just lost the best thing that ever happened to me. The house felt unbearably quiet. For the first time in months, maybe years, I wasn't sure if I even recognized the life I had been living. The walls seemed smaller, suffocating. My own thoughts clawed at my skull, each one screaming the same thing over and over again. You let this happen. I sat down at the kitchen table, staring at the binder. The black cover seemed heavier now, filled with things I had once believed were reasonable concerns, but now looked like carefully curated paranoia. I hesitated before flipping it open again. Serena's words still rang in my ears. This is a case file for me. I swallowed hard. Page after page, I saw it all. The notes my mother had written in neat, clinical handwriting. The observations Tobias and Delia had contributed. Even my own scribbled additions. June 12th, Serena changed the subject when I brought up Mom's advice on work. August 3rd, seemed uninterested in the family barbecue, barely spoke to anyone. October 17th, did not react when I told her Delia's big news about moving to a new apartment. I rubbed a hand over my face. What the FCK had I been thinking? Every little thing, every moment of normal human behavior had been twisted into evidence against her. But the worst part? I had gone along with it. For months, I had sat in those meetings, nodding along as my family dissected my wife's actions like she was some kind of manipulative puppet master, controlling me from the shadows. And now she is gone. My chest tightened. I grabbed my phone and stared at the last text I had sent her. Me, please, come home. Let's talk. No response. I tried calling. It rang twice before sending me straight to voicemail. I ran a shaky hand through my hair. I had to fix this. But how? How do you undo this kind of betrayal? A soft knock at the door made me flinch. I turned, half expecting to see Serena standing there, furious but willing to talk. It wasn't her. It was Tobias. I hesitated before opening the door. He stepped inside without waiting for an invitation, rubbing a hand over his beard. He looked tense, like even he wasn't sure why he was here. You okay? He asked after a long moment. I let out a short, humorless laugh. Do I look okay? He sighed. Look, man, I get it. You're upset. But let's be real here. She overreacted. I stared at him. Are you effing serious? He raised an eyebrow. Owen, come on. Yeah, maybe Mom took it too far with the binder thing, but you know we were just trying to look out for you. She's been pulling you away from us for years, little by little. No, I snapped. That's just what you all told me. Tobias frowned. So what? Now you're turning on us. I exhaled sharply, trying to keep my voice steady. You don't get it, do you? This wasn't normal. We weren't looking out for me. We were convincing ourselves she was some kind of threat. She was a threat, he argued. Not in some crazy, dramatic way, but man, we all saw it happening. She kept making you choose her over us. Slowly, subtly. I shook my head. That's marriage, Tobias. That's what happens when you build a life with someone. It's not about choosing one family over the other. It's about balance. And we sure as HLL didn't give her a chance at that. Tobias shifted uncomfortably. So what now? You're just gonna pretend she wasn't pushing us away? I ran a hand over my face. Maybe she pulled away because she felt like she wasn't welcome. Tobias scoffed. You really think she's the victim here? I stared at him for a long time before speaking. Yeah, I do. His jaw tightened, and for the first time, I saw uncertainty flash in his eyes. But then, just as quickly, he pushed it down. Well, he said stiffly, I guess that's that then. And without another word, he walked out the door. I didn't stop him. I stood there, staring at the empty doorway, the weight of everything finally crashing down on me. I had picked the wrong side. And now, I had to live with the consequences. For the next few days, I barely slept. I kept calling Serena, but she never picked up. I sent texts, long ones at first, then short, desperate messages when she didn't respond. Me, Serena, please. Just talk to me. I need you to know I see it now. I see what they did. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Nothing. I started thinking about everything differently. How I had let my family control my perception of my own marriage. How I had ignored the little moments where Serena had tried to tell me how she felt, how isolated, how judged, how unwelcome she had been made to feel. And I had let it happen. But the worst part? I knew my family wasn't sorry. They didn't see this as a mistake. They saw it as a win. My mother called 2 days after the fight. Owen, I know this is hard for you, but trust me, it's for the best. How is this for the best, Mom? I asked, gripping the phone. She sighed like she was speaking to a child who didn't understand the real world. She was changing you. She was pulling you away from us. You ever stop to think maybe I was just growing up? Silence. Then she scoffed. You're upset. I understand that. But you'll see, in time, that this was necessary. Necessary. My voice was shaking. Necessary to spy on my wife? Necessary to keep notes like she was a F-king criminal? To hold weekly meetings about her? Eleanor's voice turned sharp. Don't be dramatic, Owen. Everything we did was out of love. I laughed bitterly. Love? Mom, you don't even know what love is. I hung up before she could say another word. I sat in my silent house, staring at my wedding photos, my mind racing. And that's when I knew. I couldn't just let them win. I had lost Serena because of them, because of me, but that didn't mean I had to let them keep controlling me. I needed to make things right. And I knew exactly how. The first step was getting Serena back. I knew she might never forgive me. I knew I had broken something that might never be fixed. But I had to try. So I sent one last message. Me, I understand if you never want to see me again. But if you can give me 1 hour, just one, I have something to show you. An hour later, my phone buzzed. Serena, 1 hour. I exhaled, grabbed my keys, and drove straight to her friend's house. She was waiting outside when I pulled up, arms crossed, wary. I got out of the car slowly, hands in my pockets. Hey, hey. Her voice was cold, but I didn't blame her. I know I don't deserve it, I said quietly. But can you come with me? Please. She studied me for a long moment, then nodded once. 1 hour. That was all I needed. I took her to my mother's house. She stiffened when she realized where we were. Owen, just trust me, I said. Please. She hesitated, but followed me up the driveway. I didn't bother knocking. I walked right in. My mother was in the living room with Delia and Tobias, all of them laughing over coffee like they didn't just ruin my marriage. The second they saw Serena, the room fell silent. Eleanor set her mug down carefully. Owen, what is this? I pulled the binder out of my bag and dropped it onto the coffee table. Hard. This is what you did to my marriage. Eleanor's face tightened. Owen, no. You don't talk now. I do. I turned to Delia. You, always making snide comments, making her feel like an outsider, like she had to fight for a place at the table. Delia's jaw clenched. That's not. And you, Tobias. You sat there every week, nodding along like some F-king judge, deciding if my wife was acceptable enough. Tobias's eyes darkened. We were just trying to, and you. I turned to Eleanor. You pulled the strings. You made me question my own wife. You made me believe that love meant agreeing with you. Eleanor's mouth pressed into a thin line. We were only protecting you. I let out a bitter laugh. You don't even see it, do you? You don't see how sick this is. How controlling. How toxic. I turned to Serena, my chest tight. You were right. About everything. And I should have seen it sooner. Her lips parted slightly, but she didn't speak. I exhaled sharply, turning back to my family. I want you to listen very carefully. You will never control my life again. You will never have a say in who I love, how I live, or what I do. You lost that privilege. Eleanor's face paled. Owen, don't. No. My voice was sharp, steady. This was your choice. Now live with it. And then, I took Serena's hand. She tensed, but she didn't pull away. And without another word, we walked out. It took time. A lot of time. Serena didn't come home right away. She needed space, and I gave it to her. But I proved to her, little by little, that I had changed. That I saw things clearly now. That I was done letting my family poison me. And when she finally did come home, she made it clear she wasn't going to compete for me ever again. Because there was no competition. I cut my family off. Not in a dramatic, screaming match kind of way. I just stopped answering, stopped engaging. I let them feel the absence of me, the way they had made me feel the absence of Serena. At first, they tried to pull me back in. Guilt trips, manipulations, even apologies that weren't really apologies. But I didn't fall for it. The message I ever sent my mother was simple. Me. You lost me the moment you made me doubt my wife. Goodbye, Mom. She never responded. And for the first time in my life, I was free. I had lost everything because of them. But in the end, I want it back. On my own terms.